Okay, you guys, so today we're going to be drawing these little rosebud vases. A rosebud vase or a bud vase is just a small vase that you can only fit a couple of buds into. It's not like a big vase where you can fit a whole flower arrangement. And what gave me this idea is that my dad used to give my mom for every holiday, like Mother's Day, which is coming up, a little bud vase with flowers from our own garden, and usually he gave me some too. So we're going to draw the vase first and get that form correct, and then we'll start adding our flowers, and then you get to watercolor these, okay? So you're going to get a paper with this kind of shape on it, and then I'm going to have you draw your bud vase. Now, the form of it, you want to kind of come out like this, and then come out like this, like it's got parentheses, right? Those look like parentheses. And then at the bottom, it's gonna have a slight smile, but you don't want it to be fully round like a circle because then it wouldn't stand right, right? And I like mine to be a little bit sketchy, so I'm gonna add a couple of lines up here. I'm gonna go ahead and draw the table. Okay, and now I'm gonna draw my roses. Now we've drawn these kinds of roses before. And the first one, I'm gonna do a full rose that's fully open. I'm gonna draw a small circle with a little swirly in the middle. And then I'm gonna start in the middle and bring this petal out and back in. It doesn't go all the way around, it just goes out and back in. Same thing here, out and back in. And then for these petals, I'm gonna start out here and go out and back in, out and back in, and then I might do a couple to round them out. So there's my rose. Now I'm going to draw the stem. And then you're going to give it some leaves. On these, I gave it these kind of leaves that look like little wings or hands, I don't know. But you could do just leaf shapes with just a rounded leaf or whatever. So I'm going to go up and out. And then I gave it like 1, 2, 3 little bumps and brought it back in. Like that. Now for my rosebud up here, instead of doing a big circle that's a swirly, I'm gonna make it taller, and we're gonna do an oval that's a swirly, like that. And then I'm gonna draw a line, almost like a U. And then we're gonna draw a line down the middle that separates it. It comes kind of down and back up. And these are meant to be a little bit sketchy. So it's okay if it's not perfect, or if you get an extra line in there, or if I put an extra line or 2 in here, that's okay. All right, so now I'm gonna draw this one's stem and its leaves. Okay, now I'm gonna draw some more greenery, just some extra greenery to go in our vase. I'm gonna draw one coming out like this. And it's gonna have a leaf on the end, and then it's gonna have some leaves coming off of it. And then I'm gonna draw one more coming up like this. Some leaves coming off of it. I'm not doing too much overlapping on this one. So if you find a lot of things overlapping, you might have to do some erasing, okay? You could add some more, like I feel like this side needs something over here. So you could add another piece of greenery or whatever else yours needs. If you feel like it needs a little bit more, you can. Okay, the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna draw, like these stems are coming in, but just like the indication of them, not like fully drawn out, just like that, okay? The other thing you could do is draw a little line like right here, like a smile line for the water, okay? And then I'm going to come through, and you know I love my lines. I'm just going to add some more lines to my picture. But you don't have to do that. Okay, so now you're going to trace yours in Sharpie, and then you're going to watercolor this. Now, the one thing I want to say before you guys get to tracing and watercoloring is this. If you're going to paint your backgrounds, you need to paint your background first. So we're going to do these in watercolor. A good solution would be to get some colored pencils if you want to, and you can color your flowers and your leaves in colored pencil. And then what will happen is the water and the watercolors won't get into your colors or your colors for your flowers. But if you don't want to do that, let's say I want my background to be just kind of like you guys will have a lot more color options, but I'm going to do just this yellow. Okay. What I can do is just kind of sort of paint it. You got to use plenty of water with your watercolors. I got to get water every time I got to paint. And then let's say I wanted my flower to be yellow or to be red, and I didn't want the yellow and the red to mix. That's really easy to happen with watercolors. So then what I can do is after I get this background kind of painted, sorry guys, it took longer than I thought. I needed a bigger paintbrush. Okay, if you'll notice, I was not super careful up here with my painting, okay? And you don't have to fill in the whole background. It looks kind of cool if it fades out a little bit in some areas. The whole background does not have to be colored in, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna lay a paper towel on top and just, I'm not rubbing, I'm just patting so that some of that yellow gets picked up. And then my colors won't mix as much. So now let's say I want a red rose. I'm gonna get my paintbrush wet, go to my red, and do my red rose. You see how it stays where it's supposed to be? Doesn't bleed out into the other colors, and same here. Okay, so now you're gonna finish watercoloring. Well, I finished watercoloring, or finish tracing and then getting the watercolor. Well, I finished watercoloring, and then I'll see you guys at the end. Watercolor picture. There you go. So if you want to, you could write a little note to your mom on the back after it dries that says Happy Mother's Day, and give it to your mom for Mother's Day. Or just give it to your mom because she loves it. All right. Can't wait to see you guys next week.